Hello and welcome to Everywoman. Now, we always ask you for comments on the issues we investigate here on Everywoman, and we've had some great feedback from you. So we're going to revisit some of the stories you particularly liked, including the lady mechanics of Nigeria, how the women are beating the men beneath the bonnet. It's all change in Latvia as we find out how dads are battling it out for equality in bringing up their children. And 14 hours, 5 brides, 20 bridesmaids and 15 aunts. That's all in a day's work for the beauty salons of Kabul. But first, epidemic, a word typically used for outbreaks of infectious diseases, is now being used to describe the rapid rise of diabetes in the United States. The type 2 condition can lead to blindness, amputation and death. And researchers say it's become so widespread that 1 in 3 girls born in the US today will develop it. As Everywoman reports, doctors say the problem is a ticking time bomb.
200,000 to 300,000 in New York City actually don't know that they have it yet.
There's a lot of denial, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of fear.
There's an epidemic of obesity and there's an epidemic of diabetes that follows it right along.
It's a ticking time bomb.
So I have a new one for you. This is a 66-year-old lady.
Probably 25%, 1 in 4 patients have diabetes that we know about.
Came in requiring a fem pot bypass. Had the bypass.
And we know that cardiovascular mortality is the #1 killer of patients and individuals with diabetes. People with diabetes, the majority of them don't die from gangrene or from blindness or from kidney failure. They're dying because their heart stopped working. The diabetes doctors, okay? So what we're doing is we're just helping your surgeons. I think the problem with diabetes is that it still is a silent disease, meaning we can talk about all the complications and all the very dramatic things like losing feet and losing toes, but at the end there are people walking around all day long who have diabetes. And those stories aren't going to be seen by all those other people walking down the street. People in the hospital see it, maybe the person's immediate family see it, but we as a society aren't seeing it. You know, we as a society aren't seeing all these people admitted to the hospital suffering with this really devastating medical condition.
You're going to stand on the scale here. Remove your shoes, please.
My mom has it. She's got diabetes. Right now, she just had two heart attacks. And my aunt, my mom's sister, she has it. She might get both her feet amputated. And plus my husband's family. His mother, his father has it, and they both passed away from it.
$4.29 is your sugar. It's high, okay?
I was first diagnosed in 1986, but I didn't take it serious. I didn't know how bad it would damage me. My heart went bad. I have had 9 angiograms, catheterization. I got 3 stents in, and they all collapsed. My eyes, I've had 5 lasers in my right eye, 4 lasers in my left eye. Now it's come to the point where I've had all these lasers, and still I'm gonna go blind. Oh boy.
All right, how often do you check your feet? They look like they're good.
It's changed my life a lot. And only because I didn't take care of myself. I've known everything I should be doing because, I mean, I learned it very young, but I didn't follow, you know, and that's the thing. I let diabetes control me instead of me controlling diabetes.
It just doesn't affect one person. And it's not just happening in New York City. It's happening all over the country. It's happening all over the world. And as obesity continues to rise, the number of people who have diabetes is going to increase as well. And their families are affected, the community is affected, and affect schools, the economy is affected, and it becomes this domino effect where from one problem that a person has to all of a sudden it's the entire community, and it's a huge cost to society.
I think one of the hardest things for me and other people in clinical practice to kind of get their minds around is that we have excellent research happening in diabetes, and we're finding out all the time how diabetes works and medications to treat it, but the real issue is going to be how we prevent diabetes from starting in this country. You know, I can put a stopgap in this. I can treat the diabetes when it starts, I can maybe help prevent diabetes in a few people, but they're going to go back out into this toxic environment unless the environment changes or some radical scientific breakthrough happens. You know, it's just, I'm fighting the tide. I'm just fighting the tide.
And overweight, not overweight? A growing problem of diabetes there. Now, in Nigeria, the idea of a woman being able to fix cars used to be unheard of. 20 years ago, women car mechanics simply didn't exist. But now young women are learning how to repair carburetors and fix head gaskets. And they're following in the footsteps of one woman who fulfilled her dream of becoming Nigeria's first ever lady mechanic.
Owning a new car seems to be everyone's dream. But when it comes to fixing cars, it appears to be a man's world. In Nigeria, a common attitude is that women still belong in the kitchen. But this is changing. Shirley Stollem is a 21-year-old woman who lives in Ajegunle, a low-income neighborhood of the country's commercial capital, Lagos. Most young people like Shirley have a hard time finding jobs and making ends meet. Almost half of Nigeria's 120 million people are young, and unemployment figures are rising, especially in the urban centers. But Shirley and her friend Ruth have decided to step into a man's world. They may look sweet and sassy, but in reality, they are no-nonsense auto mechanics. Shirley is one of 25 girls employed by the Lady Mechanics Initiative, a non-profit organization training young women to become auto mechanics. The center is being run by Sandra Agwebor, a feisty lady with a courageous dream.
I've been in the garage for 20 years. I started when I was 14. In Nigeria before, you'll be told that don't do a man's job. It's like a taboo. But these days, people will be looking at you and saying, that is good.
Sandra's Lady Mechanics Initiative trains women for 3.5 years and gives them a modest monthly allowance during their training. Resources are tight, and they have to make do with simple equipment and tools to teach the basics of how engines work.
You know, they feel women are more, when they are into male-dominated profession, they are more careful with a whole lot of things. One, not to tarnish their name, because it's a new innovation.
But what do Nigerians think about women mechanics?
Girls around me, I think people should be enlightened now about auto mechanic, especially girls, that they can do it.
For a man to be a mechanic, you have like 10 cars in your yard. When you do the cars, you don't get money. Can women be doing work without money? Women need money because where men can manage, it's not easy for women.
Women mechanic in Nigeria here, it amounts to civilization.
Sandra organizes community outreach events where she invites young women to join the initiative.
I have a whole lot of them here, the health commercial sex workers, the school certificate holder who cannot finish their, continue their education for one reason or the other, married women who wants to also acquire mechanical skills. We also do industrial attachment for universities students, for polytechnic students and School of Technology.
I'm a student too, but I don't know the practical aspect of this work that I'm doing now. But me coming to this place has really helped me practically.
I'm proud to be a mechanic, so my family are also proud of it.
When you are in the garage, you are learning a skill which, in fact, is a wonderful thing. You'll be recognized by your country, you'll be recognized by your community.
Sandra's girls have been hosted by Nigeria's president, and Sandra herself received a grant to visit women mechanics initiatives all over the United States of America. Even Yellow Man, a local rap artist, has composed a special song about women mechanics.
Lady Mechanic Initiative, with the unemployment situation we have in this country, is a very great idea.
The initiative is going to change the global world for good. Why? Because if the women start repairing cars and attracting customers to their garage is also going to boost whatever economy of any federation, anywhere they are, any country they are, because they are contributing a lot to that economy. We can do it.
There you go, girl power under the bonnet there. Well, we're going to take a break now, and when we come back, behind the burqa, we visit the beauty parlours of Afghanistan.